don't believe in accidents. I believe in divine appointment. I was born into a devout Muslim home, and God had plans, wonderful plans. I've been there on the day I was going to kill myself. Jesus revealed himself to me, and he gave me a new life. And if you pray with me, and if you believe with me, God is going to give you a new life today. Jesus Christ is real. He changes lives, he changes destiny, and he changes nations. And those nations can change the world. A lot of people write to me and they tell me that they are lonely. They need a friend. And especially in the Western world, people don't know how to be a friend. This is a serious problem in the Western world. People don't know how to be a friend, and they are lonely. A lot of lonely people are out there. Lonely people in all ages, from all backgrounds, all generations. People are lonely. I meet with people in their 60s, they are lonely. They don't have one true friend. I meet with people in their 20s, and they don't have a true friend. When you look at the situation in the youth groups, people are one day they are best friends, and the next day they stab each other. You know what I am talking about? It's happening to you. One day they are your best buddies and so close to you, and next day, when you need them, they are not there. They are no longer your friend. You do one thing wrong, they cancel you out from their list. And they say they are lonely. Everybody, a lot of people. This is a majority I am talking about, and it's a serious thing. Because people have been writing to me and crying, feeling abandoned, rejected. But then themselves don't know how to be a good friend. I think in the churches, I think in the youth groups and care groups and all kinds of meetings that we have to teach them how to be a good friend. Jesus was a good friend. He is a good friend. He laid down his life for us. He is a good friend. He laid down his life for all of us. We need to learn from his example how to be a good friend. You see, friendships are lasting seasonal. There are seasonal friendships. Some friends come into your life and they are only seasonal. For one season, they have been great. I had friends like this in my life. Then something happens, such as a trial or tribulation, whatever it is, and they are nowhere to be found. Or you make a mistake, you offend them, they are gone. And people don't know how to stick together with each other. This is a very sad thing, and it happens in the families. I know people, they don't see their children for years. What kind of garbage is that? I know people, they don't see, brothers don't speak to each other. In every culture, in my culture too. We don't have it as much as in the US, but we do have it. I know my mother's uncles, they didn't speak to each other until they died. They only went to each other's funerals. People don't know how to be a good friend, how to be a good relative. Because people don't know how to forgive. But today I don't want to go into forgiveness side of it. I want to go to who is your friend? Who is your friend? This is why a lot of people in the Western world, especially in America, because they don't have good friends, food is their friend. Is food your friend today? TV is their friend. It's a safe friendship. Even animals, I love dogs, I love animals. People know me, they know that. But sometimes it is the safest friendship because they cannot answer back to you. They cannot do any wrong to you. And you choose to love them more than people. But there's a serious issue underneath that causes us to turn to somewhere else instead of to true person who is a true friend that can teach us how to be a good friend. Couples in their marriages, they don't know how to be a good friend. People that they live each other, they walk on the aisle and gave all these promises to each other. They don't know how to be a friend. You see a family goes through a financial problem, financial trial, and they fall apart. Many couples, after they have children, they start falling apart, going to different directions. You start seeing couples facing the same thing, that at the beginning they were each other's best friends, but later on they become their worst enemies. How does this happen? But today I want to challenge you. Who is your friend? Is world your friend? Is world trying to pacify you? Ease your pain? What is that you are finding there that God is not providing you? He is not giving you. What is that you are finding in the world that you don't want to find it in Christ Jesus? Because I don't care whatever and whoever you are seeking friendship, it's always going to disappoint you. It's always going to hurt you. But it's always going to take you a place of also learning if you are careful and if you are a good student. And today, Jesus Christ is offering you to be that friend for you. I see in young people's lives, I even told my daughter, the moment you make your friends your idol, the moment they are your idols, you are losing them. You are giving them so much control. Maybe you have friends today, they are control freaks, they are controlling you. You cannot even breathe. I remember the times that when I was so lonely, I wanted to have friends. If they like blue color, I would like blue. If they like pink, I would like pink, because I didn't have my identity. I want to be anything for them just to have friends. And you know the famous saying, show me your friend, I will tell you who you are. Who is your friend today? Desperate housewives? Is this your friend? Worldly concerts or staring at TV, is this your friend that who cannot answer you, who cannot hug you? Maybe you need a hug today. You need God's embracing love today, and you don't know that you can get it from Him. There was a lady who called me, and I tried to minister to her, and she told me she was married for 30-something years, and she never received a hug from her husband. Never. She said, maybe at the beginning of our marriage, he was coming and hugging me, but sometimes I need someone to hold me. She said, I don't want physical intimacy, I don't want sex, I don't want anything, but the only thing that I am looking right now, someone come and hold me. Is this you today? Maybe your children are coming to you and they keep asking you things, and you think that the only way you can give them love by helping them. But deep inside, what you want is to please them and seek their friendship. So they can be a good friend to you. They can knock on your door and visit you. But it takes so much giving for them to come back to you. To give that hug, give that compliment, give that encouragement, pat on the shoulder, Mom, you are doing good. Thank you. Really? Yes. Thank you. Maybe you need that today from a friend. But Bible says that in James 4:4, you adulterous people, don't you know that friendship with the world means enmity against God? Therefore, anyone who chooses to be a friend of the world becomes an enemy of God. Moses had a friend. God was his friend. Abraham was called God's friend. People pray. A lot of places that I go, Abrahamic blessings, Abrahamic inheritance. Do you live a life of Abraham? Do you know the sacrifices that he made based on obedience, the steps that he took? Do you know? Most of you know. Can you call today God your best friend? Maybe you are longing for that best friend today. That friend that always is by your side. When you mess up, when you are doing good. When you are giving abundance, or when you are giving nothing. A true friend. When you look so beautiful, pretty on the outside, but a mess inside. She is still with you. He is still with you. A friend that you can go and confess your sins and who won't judge you, but pray for you and love you and embrace you. Do you need a friend today? And I am showing you where that friend is. Of course we are human, we all need a friend, human friend. But today, you can have that, you can pray for that, but God wants to teach you from His example also to be a good friend. I remember the days that I was feeling so lonely. I was new in the faith in Christianity. I was going to church, and I was feeling like an outsider at the beginning. I was going and I was feeling, people were inviting me and my daughter, I was a single mother at that time, they were inviting me out of charity, not really including me. I felt like I was part of the charitable giving. I didn't feel part of the family. And then I started praying. I said, God, I feel so lonely. I left all my friends, all my Muslim friends. After I became a Christian, they became my enemies. I have done so many bad things when I was a Muslim. But they even created lies and slanders, accusations about me that I haven't done, I didn't do. I already was a terrible person, wicked, wretched, call me anything, trash. But they even invented more things. Those people were so close to me. And it hurt my heart. And God spoke to me. You cannot minister to them right now. As much as you want to witness to them, you can. You need to separate. You need to consecrate to me. And then I ended up with nobody at that time, going to church, being new in the church. I remember at Christmas time. This is a hard one to tell. Christmas time, we went into this beautiful house. We were invited for a Christmas party. And it was a small church. Everybody knew each other for 25 years, 30 years. They had albums, photo albums together in Florida. And they were taking pictures and sharing their memories. And I was sitting there, a newcomer, with my daughter. She was 4 or 5 years old. And there was this beautiful Christmas tree. And people were going with their families in front of the Christmas tree. They said that this is our tradition in the church. We do this every year. We go in front of the Christmas tree and we take family pictures. So they were going with their children and taking pictures. And one family, and we were sitting there. I was sitting there with my daughter on my lap. And one family that we knew very closely, they went, and at that moment, my 4 or 5-year-old daughter, she just ran to get a picture with them. And the owner of the house, the lady said, "No, honey, go sit with your mother. This is a family picture." My heart was broken. I cannot tell you the pain, because we never had a big family. My family is in Turkey. It's not a big family. Most of my family is Muslims. They don't celebrate Christmas. This was our maybe first or second Christmas. And then that lady, owner of the house, said, "Go sit with your mother." And my daughter started crying. She didn't want to go. She wanted to get a picture next to that family by the Christmas tree. And the lady said, "I am telling you, go sit with your mother right now. Be a good girl. This is a family picture." I don't know if I was crying at that time, but I was really, I can tell you, holding my tears here. And then the family by the tree said, "She's the family. Please come." And they included me too. And then I went and we took a picture, and the lady said, the owner of the house said, "Now I am the bad guy." Well, she was. But what I am trying to say, God puts the loneliest, God put the people that are lonely in the families. And we even lost that in the church. We even forgot that. Then years later, God gave me His family that true friends, true families. And even before that, God taught me how to be a good friend. When I was telling the Lord after that incident that day, I am lonely, Lord. And he said, it's your fault. I said, what? Is it my fault? He said, yes. Because you have been always a guest. And you never learn to be a family member. I said, how come? And he said, when somebody is invited to dinner, a relative goes to that dinner, they wash the dishes, they help with cleaning, they are not guests, they are part of the family. But when a guest goes to a dinner, they don't have to do anything, they just go eat and thank and leave. You have been always a guest in the church, he said. You never get your hands dirty. It was at the beginning. Thank God that he spoke to me very at the beginning of my walk. He said, you want to be the family? You want to be a good friend? It is messy. You're going to learn to pick up the trash. You're going to learn to wash the dishes. You're going to learn to help if you want to be part of the family. Otherwise, you will always be an outsider. Is this your story today in the church? Somebody broke your heart and you walk out and you never wanted to go to that place again. And you went to another place and something else happened and you left. But it doesn't happen the same way with your family. They hurt you, they say things to you and those things are offensive. And they don't do things to your liking, but still they are your family. Whatever it takes, it is a commitment. It is not an involvement. When you're involved with a girl or a boy, you just go out and eat few things, a hamburger or something, and spend a couple of hours, that's it. But when you are committed, you make your wedding vows. When you are committed into that relationship, when you turn someone, a friend, casual friend, into a best friend. Who is your friend today? Maybe God is asking you right now, everything that you have been going through, you didn't have to go through alone. You just had to make yourself vulnerable. This is what part of the friendship, being vulnerable, instead of trying to make yourself look good. Those are not real friends. Let's get real. If you want to have a true friend, you need to learn to be a true friend. And unfortunately, people are in the world, they are seeking friendships with wrong places. They are looking for someone to love them. They are looking for someone to fill that void. They are looking love somewhere, acceptance somewhere, and it's happening in this generation right now. Somebody just accept me. Please don't reject me. Please return my phone calls. Respond to my text messages, please. There's a world out there crying. Please notice me. New generation has full of self-hatred, poor image, self-image, poor self-image. And they are crying. A lot of children, they don't have their fathers. We need in this world good fathers to be good friends to their children. This is why children are angry. And they need healing to their broken hearts. Is it your story today? It doesn't matter how old you were and how much you remember about the abandonment. Is it you still going through that rejection? Is it you still going through that heartache? Recently, a family brought a girl to me after one of my preachings, and they said, please pray over her because we adopted her when she was a baby. And I saw the pain in this precious girl's face. And I saw the pain in the face of the parents. They were carrying that pain. And you don't understand. I didn't understand everything, and God didn't reveal everything to me at that moment until I started praying for the girl. And God spoke to me and said, every child is coming from a broken home, has a broken heart. Every child that their father doesn't want to do anything with them has a broken heart. Even they are adopted from birth. The moment of birth, you adopt them. Doesn't matter. Their spirit knows that they are rejected or they are left or abandoned. Their spirit knows they have a broken heart. And I told her that precious young girl, I said to her, it doesn't matter, right, how much love this couple gives you, you don't receive it. Because you feel like you were abandoned. You were abandoned. And nothing can satisfy that void. This precious couple is trying so hard to love you. But you have such rebellion in your heart towards them. And you don't receive the love that they are trying to give you. You need to learn to be a friend to them too. You need to learn to be a daughter to them too. You need to forgive their mistakes too. Every time they fall and they failed, you don't have to say, oh, you just adopted me. You're not my real parents. I said, this is what you're saying. She's like, yes, and she's crying. I said, you have a broken heart. And I want to pray for your broken heart. And your adopted parents, they have broken hearts. And we held hands. We started praying. It is amazing what God can do once the truth is revealed that you have a broken heart. Maybe your children are not walking in the way of the Lord, and you have a broken heart. Maybe one of your children is going through divorce. You have a broken heart as a parent. But you need to acknowledge it and face it. And you are turning your pain, you are turning your void elsewhere to satisfy, and you are choosing maybe friendship with the world. And it's not pleasing God. What is that God cannot provide you and accomplish in your heart today? What is that you think? I propose that you basically and simply surrender and release that to Him. You surrender to Him and tell Him, yes, I have a broken heart. Yes, I am looking friendships in the wrong places. Yes, I am hurting. I'm trying to say, I don't care about my dad. I don't want to know him. I don't care. No. Believe me, deep inside, you need a prayer and deliverance from rejection and abandonment. Deep inside, something is there that hurting, that you don't want to carry it to next relationships like you have done it in the past. You don't have to look friendship in the wrong places because you have a problem. God can take care of that today. If you just release it to Him, if you just surrender it to Him. Because otherwise, trying to solve it your own, you're compromising. It will rob you. It will distract you. It will destroy you. The cure. What is the cure? Identify your shortcoming, your hurt, your broken heart. Where is it coming from? Identify it. And why it is opening a door for you to the world, for you to listen to the lies of the enemy, to devastate you. Repent from that. Recognize the voice of the enemy. The way may seem right to a man leads to death. And protect your ear gates, your eye gates, yourself. afterwards. There is a cure, my friends, in Jesus Christ. If you just come to Him, if you just surrender to Him, if you just say, yes, yes, yes. Today, I just want to invite you, and I want to pray over you, to make Jesus Christ your best friend. Let Him teach you. He was a servant friend. He was a servant leader. He was a sacrificial friend. In Philippians 2 says, consider others better than yourselves. Each of you should look into your other's interests instead of your own interests. Your attitude should be the same as that of Christ Jesus. Humble attitude, not prideful attitude. This is why prideful and controlling people are the loneliest people on the face of the earth. You need to change your ways to become a real friend and make good friends. And that TV, that food, all this idol worship in your life that is taking the place of the true friend, gotta go today. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you today. We just want to open our hearts to you. Thank you for being the best Father. I can call you anytime and I can say, Abba, Father. You are better than any father to me. Jesus Christ, thank you for being my best friend. Thank you for coming into my life and making me friend of God. Through you, I reconciled to God and I became a friend of God instead of His enemy. And today I pray for everyone that is hearing this message, that they will turn to you. They will go on their knees and pour out their hearts to you as the bestest friend on the face of the earth and for eternity. I pray right now for everybody here today, if they have a broken heart, I pray you heal their broken hearts. If they are hurting, I pray that you comfort them and deliver them. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.